Hey everybody, welcome to the iGV product space. So in this upcoming 10 minutes, I'm gonna explain to you a big picture of how iGV product work as a whole. So in this space, you will not only receive what is gonna happen in PD for iGV in terms of structures, but you will also understand about how iGV should work in terms of their project structures and how these two functions can work in a more effective manner and what is the things that you should take note, especially in this upcoming recruitment in fall, where it's gonna bring a lot of impact in your next term, especially when you're planning for your pipeline for iGV product as a whole. Okay, so I will go tier by tier and I will actually highlight certain things that you should take note as a PM MERS or as a head of department or LCVP iGV, and then what is the things that makes a difference in these 5 different tiers, and how can you be a bit more smart in terms of reallocate people, or what is the best profile for certain roles that it might seem familiar or different, because we kind of change a bit of the JD of the role and how you should get the best person on that. Okay, so let's start with the most basic tier, which is tier 5 for iGV. So the product itself is do in between 0 and 39 realization. So if you look into this tier, the structure itself, it will not change a lot, but mainly the objective of the structure is that you will still have an LCVB iGV, but we will not encourage you to have another department, specifically tackling PD for iGV, but PD for iGV will sub under LCVB iGV as a sub function to support every single of your projects. Okay, so the ideas and the basic of a structure is that you should have one project director for one projects. Okay, so it is really up to you how many projects you are running. So for example, right now you are running 2 projects, then you should have these kind of structures for 2 different teams. Okay, so in this case, for example, in a project structures, you will still have project director, and then what is the bare minimum for you to have in terms of your OC structure is that you have to have OC youth experience, OC partner, and OC logistic and FL. Okay, these 3 is the most fundamental profiles that you should have in every single project director structures. Okay, then if you look into the entire PD for iGV as a supporting department, PD for iGV will sub under LCVP iGV, and then you should only have 1 PD iGV members. Okay, so how you define PD for iGV member, the JD basically designed based on the strategies that you want to pick based on how much you understand about your market. Okay, so for example, your market, it's more suitable to do crowdfunding. So this 1 member, her or his JD is only going to focus on crowdfunding. Okay, so this is the slight changes in PD for iGV side. So another thing I want to highlight here is that in this upcoming fall MRD, we will not encourage you to actually bring any new member for PD for iGV, but instead, you should restructure summer peak OC to PD for iGV. Okay, so which is currently all the OCs that is in here, the structures, you can restructure them into that. At the same time, the question comes, so if I have new member interested to join PD, where should they go? Then my suggestion is they should go under project director structures to really understand what is project first, which is going to be this role itself. Okay, so this is the minor change of what is going to happen in terms of building your pipeline itself. Okay, so another thing that I want to highlight here is that who is going to take accountable in terms of different role itself. So based on how structure works is definitely you have a product head here, and then the people that take accountable for this LCVP iGV is definitely the team leader is LCPs. Okay, so the things that you take note as a product head iGV, LCVP iGV, definitely all the sales funnel, starting from attraction until post experience for youth, and then you will need to look into your project development and also what kind of L&D for your team, because you are a team leader for your director and every single thing. Then lastly, you also need to look into product sustainability as a whole, whether they are sustainable or not, every single project, what is the situation. Lastly, another thing is also you need to take care of sales one, okay, because you have a PD directors that part under you, and then you have to look into how can you starting to synergize with FL. So it's a very strategic role as LCVP in making decision instead of execution. Then project director definitely is very project based. As usual, you need to take care of your projects in terms of conversion or how many apply to complete, and then partner and also customer experience, and then your OC team standard implementation. Lastly is about your project impact, and then how is your project in terms of KPI achieved, and then exchange standard fulfilled, okay, which is your OC and partner coordination, in both sides. Okay, so strategic role as well, making sure all the execution is being done in a project base. Okay, that's what makes it different. And you are accountable towards team leader, which is your LCVB IGV. Then same goes to OCPD. OCPD, your team leader is OCP. Okay, you are directly part under OCP, and then your role is to make sure that you do leads until MOU sign for all your learning partner and schools. Okay, you are tackling solely learning partner and schools. Okay, then you will follow until the project end in terms of partner center implementation as well. Then definitely OC use experience, definitely is also from the beginning of how to get more EP until the end, what is a EP experience, and also end up with a post experience as well. Then for finance and also logistics, you can carefully look into sustainability level. So one thing to highlight is that you need to not only do finance, which is budget, but you also look into logistic preparation, EP visa information, and also a lot of legality management. Okay, so it's the same. Your team leader, director leader is still OCP instead of VPFL itself. Okay, then in PD structures, so if you want to look at the PD structures, what makes it different is that your PD for iGV will solely only focus on money. Okay, it's all about money. So PD director, you need to make sure that you do market research for different strategies. Depends what strategies you want to run. So if you want to know what is a strategy, definitely is still meaning these four: financial partners, sponsorship, crowdfunding, and also others. Based on that, you need to do market research. Okay, and then sales funnel since the beginning until you get money in, or if you are doing OP sales, then it's definitely open. Okay, then it's the same. Your role is more towards synergizing with all the project director as well, and then execution should come from you and also your member together. Okay, that is where we will just suggest you to only run one strategies. Among these four, pick one because it would eventually able to support your sustainability level in this case. Okay, so I think a bit of highlight here is that you have to make sure, especially for project team, OC partner, your accountable leader or who you should accountable to is still your OCP. Okay, and then youth partner, definitely OCP. Then finance and logistic is not LCVP ever, but OCP. Okay, so this is generally the concept of the structure itself. So this is the most basic structure for tier 5. So for upcoming tiers, I'm going to show you what is the difference that you need to take note. Okay, because generally for all the JD across different role, it's similar. It's just how big scale is your operation itself. So when you go to tier 4, if you can see, it's about 40 realization to 79 realization. So if you look into that, there's not much different in terms of structures. It's still back to how many projects you are running. And then the only difference here is that you were encouraged to take one more member PD for iGV, which you have two. Two member PD for iGV means that you are allowed to run two financial strategies. So for example, member 1, you want to run financial partner. Member 2, you want to run, for example, others. Then you need to specify vendor sales maybe. Okay, so this should be how the structure works in tier 4 in the scope of this much of realization. Okay, so there's nothing different compared with the, especially coming to the JD, it's quite similar with tier 5 itself. Next, let's go with tier 3. So in tier 3, your goal, product goal, it should be coming around 80 to 139 realization. So in this case, it's similar, the structures and the concept itself is similar with tier 4. Okay, so that shouldn't be any big changes in here, but mainly how many project team you will have. Okay, how many project team you will have, and then maximum, we will just suggest you to have like 4 compared with like 3. Okay, so next, the similar tier 3 to 4, another one that is a bit more different is tier 1 to 2. Okay, so if you look into tier 2, your realization is around 140 to 199 realization. Okay, so from here, we will suggest you to split your structures into LCVP IGV and also LCVP PD for IGV. Then the difference is that this person is going to be accountable towards LCPs. Okay, so in these scales of operation, you need to be specialized in order for you to be able to grow this much of realization. That is where the intention is that you have a split department, and this department can account and keep accountable by LCP to make sure that you grow strategically to support the growth of the product itself. Okay, so to make sure that they are specialized, The concept of the structure will not change a lot. It's just the accountability system who will gonna be part under who. Okay, so the concept is that still we will not suggest you to get new member into it, but instead you should actually restructure the people here go into this layer. Okay, so you must be asking why they are not member, but you will suggest them to be director instead, right? So reason being, when you go into this scale of operation, a lot of big scale of strategy is running across different function, or you definitely need more strategic support from back office as well. So when you put them as a director, you allow them to actually go into certain strategic meeting. For example, they can be the one who are a bit more capable to directly deal with project director in terms of what is the decisions that needs to be made. And then they will still be the one who are be more capable to take care of partner and also project director to align the deliverables itself. Okay, so in this case, the strategies that you are running, I'm assuming should be financial partner, which is the more strategic strategies or advanced strategies where require a lot of coordination. So compare with other 3 lower tier, your people in PD5G should be a bit more capable in making decision and in strategic thinking as well. Okay, so that's the intention of why we will suggest you to have a split structures, and these people, they can be the expert for PD instead of separate it out. And another intention is because your goal is a bit very high as well. So we will suggest that your LCVP IGV to really focus on how to hacking the process to make sure that you can achieve high goal instead of still put not being a specialized on looking into PD for IGV as a function as well. It will be very overwhelming if you still combine them together. Okay, so another thing that is different is that we will suggest you to have 2 youth experience part under 1 OCP as well, because the number of realization allows you to actually look into how many realization or how many approval can come in from each of them. Okay, so the only thing is that your project team will become 4 people instead of 3 compared with other 3 tiers, because your goal for every single project will be quite high as well. Okay, so a bit highlight on people that are keeping accountable. Your LCVP IGV and LCVP PD for IGV will keep accountable by LCP. They should be the one who are tracking you. And then your project director is LCVP IGV. And then the same go with the theory of all the OC itself should part under OCP. Okay, OCP is a final accountable person. Then for PD, it's the same. Although we are trying to find a more strategical profile calling director themselves and involve into more strategic thinking and decision, they should also part under LCVP PD IGV. So the people that they are keeping accountable is no longer LCVP IGV. Okay, so this is a few things that you can look into and allows you to understand about how is the intention of entire structure itself. So last tier, which is the highest tier when you actually do more than 200 realization, is the same. So the structures that we are proposing here, it's similar with tier 2 in terms of number of youth experience should increase 1 more, and also the similar concept of PD for IGV as well. So one thing that I want to highlight for these 2 tiers is that if you look into PD for IGV, there's a director OP sales. So just to remind all the PD IGV profile, because right now we are going through the change management phase for OP business model. So I would suggest you to really have a specialist part under you to do OP sales. Okay, so it allows you to also oversee different market, like what is the markets that are suitable for P-Box project, what is the markets that are suitable for NCR projects. Okay, so this is another highlight that you can take note in terms of the tier itself. Okay, so generally, all the things that it should be covered, I already covered in this explanation video. So if you have any more questions regarding the details, or you don't really understand the JD, you can definitely come to me to ask more further details information. Or if you have any better solution, definitely come to me as well. We are definitely open for more ideas or more different solution or initiative to make IGV better. Yep, so that's pretty much from me. Thank you for watching.